Hi, my name is Kira Shapiro, and today I'm going to be talking about obesity in adolescents. Practically, a definition of obesity is the excess amount of body fat. Also, we can measure it off of a BMI, which is a body mass index, and it's when it's 30 or greater, and then morbid obesity is usually 30 or greater. So that's just kind of how doctors measure it and let you know that you're overweight or obese. Another definition is the imbalance of energy intake. So when you're taking in a bunch of calories, a bunch of unhealthy food, and not burning that off. We're not exercising, we're not doing all those things because we can only take in so much calories and we need to burn those if we're eating too much. And that can lead to storage of fat and weight gain. So obesity can cause a lot of things, but I'm going to talk only about a few. Practically, the first thing, sleep apnea. It's pretty much when the airway is blocked from air, when you can't breathe, like you can't breathe at all. And that actually can cause death. So usually when people are obese, they have these huge masks over the face and they have a bunch of tubes, and that makes them breathe and not be able to die in your sleep practically. It can also cause type 2 diabetes, which is when your body doesn't make any insulin or doesn't create enough. So you practically have to inject yourself with those insulins, and it's really caused off of being overweight and eating unhealthy and being obese. Also, it can cause cancer. It's practically producing hormones and growth factors that affect the way our cells work and can cause a bunch of problems with the body all over. High blood pressure, practically when the blood against your artery wall is high. And then high cholesterol is a waxy substance that's found in the blood and or found in the fats in the blood, and it's not good. LDL is not good. HDL means good cholesterol, so you can kind of know when you go to the doctor if they tell you have LDL, like that's not good. Also, a stroke, which is the sudden death of brain cells due to the lack of oxygen, is blocks the flow, and it's a ruptured artery in the brain. So practically that has horrible side effects, and speech impairment, side droops down, and not good. Also, the outcome of obesity in children and adolescents is that over 30 years it has doubled in children and tripled in adolescents. So that's a significant amount from between a child and an adolescent practically, which is not good at all. If you're obese as a child, it has a way higher chance of being obese as an adult, because when you're a kid, that's when it's easy to be skinny and to lose a bunch of weight and be active. Like that's when it's easy. As an adult, that's when it's really hard to eat healthy and to exercise, because it gets a lot harder on your body. Also, practically they're predicting that this generation is going to have a shorter lifespan than our parents, which that's just crazy, because I honestly think that as time goes on, we need to be living more and more. Like we shouldn't be dying earlier. 34% of children are already affected in the United States, and so 1 in 3 adolescents are obese, and 1 in 5 are eating the recommended daily servings of fruits and vegetables, which that's crazy. There's more people that are obese than actually eating healthy. And only 8% of the adolescents are meeting the federal guidelines of 60 minutes of exercise per day. So again, that's not good. Like adolescents need to work out and eat healthy a lot more. So practically the 3 factors I'm going to talk about, or the influences of obesity, is genetics and family influences, lack of physical activity, and excess consumption of unhealthy foods. First thing is being pregnant while obese is extremely dangerous for yourself and the baby. It can cause stillborn or miscarriage, and it can actually, having the excess fat can have problems like seeing if they're fine in the ultrasound and during labor. So they can't even know if your baby's healthy sometimes. And it can cause macrosomia, which is a condition when the baby is larger than normal. And it can actually cause you to be obese later in life. It's when the fetus is larger. So practically you're obese, and it's going to cause the fetus to be bigger, and then that's when the baby's just going to be bigger. So if you can see in the picture, the baby's a lot bigger, and it's not good. Also, another family influences is that usually in today's society, both parents work. They're a lot busier, and they become lazier when they're not cooking food, what's convenient. unhealthy food, processed food, horrible foods for your child. So you can see in this picture, babies to teenagers just eat what's provided because we don't buy our own foods. We eat whatever our parents buy. And so you can see in the picture again, like the parents are giving the baby fries and soda and everything, and they're just going to eat it because they like it. So definitely encourage, like, as a parent, you need to encourage your kids to eat healthy at a younger age. Like, force them to eat their veggies, force them to eat fruit, like, do things that help them. Also, physical activity it increases the life expectancy and decreases diseases. On average, kids spend 7 to 8 hours on using technology. That's horrible. Like, and also it can create or a lazy lifestyle is so much more technology oriented in today's life. Kids need to exercise at least 5 times a week, 30 minutes. So practically 42% of 6 to 11-year-olds achieve 60 minutes of exercise, and only 8% of adolescents from 12 to 19 are exercising. So from a child to adolescence, it goes down insane amount. It's just crazy. So the next thing is physical activity. Practically recess and PE classes, like, that's what we're doing good in society right now. But there needs to be more, especially for elementary kids. Having them go out 2 to 3 times a day can make them focus more in class. So having more recesses, having more PE classes, educating them about nutrition and why healthy foods, why we need to eat those foods, and why exercise is important. And honestly, I really think that parents and teachers are the main responsibilities to sharing that information and letting them know what's healthy and what's not. Also, food consumption. Practically, we eat convenience food, which is fast, easy, and cheap. It's full of saturated and trans fats, and usually we have larger portions. So I always say, like, we eat until the food's gone. We don't eat until we're full. So if you have smaller portions, then we're gonna eat until we're done with it, and we're not gonna be eating as much. So that's gonna be a lot better. It can, limit the unhealthy food intake. Just we need to. So practically all these influences can cause a lot of mental health issues. We're, people that are obese are a lot more at risk for mental health issues. Teasing, isolation, behavioral problems leads to low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, and a reduced quality of life. And honestly, depression and obesity share the same symptoms. They share sleeping issues, kind of a lazier lifestyle, and overeating habits. So how do we end obesity? Practically, we can end it by changing the environmental factors that influence eating, overeating, and lack of physical activity. So like I said before, educating parents and teachers, having those influences, PE classes, recess, having those exercising kids, because it starts at a young age, okay? We need to stop that at a young age, tell them why it's bad, and then that would create a healthier lifestyle growing up. We need to have less fast food options. Tear those down. Create gyms. Open up healthy options. Why can't we have fast food, like fast, healthy foods instead of fast food? We can have a salad bar that's easy, like Subway. We can have those like healthy options, but put lettuce on instead. We don't need all these fast food restaurants. It honestly creates a mindset like, oh, I'm craving that. I need that when they see those logos. Also, smaller eating portions. Already said that before. Like, we eat until we're done with the food. We don't eat until we're full. And having healthier options, like I said. Also, Nebraska healthcare providers do a wellness program. Practically, it's an annual screening that if they meet certain guidelines like cholesterol, weight, whatever, a BMI, then they get a lot more money off. So just educating your kids. More states should have this wellness program to help influence them to eat healthier. So the action-oriented plan is we need to end this worldwide obesity epidemic. It's taking too many lives, and U.S. has spent 147 billion on treatment. So honestly, we can use a lot of that money and create a healthier lifestyle. Why are we spending so much money on fast food and everything, and then spending more money on this treatment plan? Let's just erase all of that and eat healthy, and it'll be a lot better. So thank you for listening. We need to end this obesity epidemic and eat a lot healthier. We need to be educated, and people need to understand the negative effects, because when they become older, they're having type 2 diabetes. They can't breathe at night. Okay. Thank you for listening, and bye.